Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome back. Alrighty. What did Willow say? I've been on and off. What did Willow say about what? Let me just go back. There's some comments already here, and I will check them out. Willow, 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 come back to me. Aw, you're so cute, Bob Rocks. Hello, Cindy, and thank you for being here again. Cindy is one of our great mods. I'm just reading over some of the comments that you guys have already made, and I've got something to add too. Linda, well, I'm glad you did make it here. That's why I ask everybody as you're coming in, please hit that like button so it's easy for everybody to find it. It really boosts the algorithm. Like I said, I am not monetized, so I make $0 off of this. I spend a lot of time doing it. So all I ask is you hit that like so everybody knows that we are live. So thank you everybody for joining. Hello, Helen and Cindy. And okay, so let's see. I'm trying to look for something that was said. Hello, Willow and chat. This is interesting. Hello, Ridmilla. Spirit Moon. Spirit Moon says, I did a pendulum reading during the break and Spirit confirmed what Willow said. I've got chills. Oh, wow. Cool. Hello, Julia and Spirit Moon and everybody. Shannon, hello, everybody joining. Unreal about the creek. Oh, what I said about the creek, like, I believe that's what he did. And I think he was disposing of other things all over. Maybe things that he used to clean up the mess. Good afternoon, Brianne Babbitt from Washington State. Kat, good afternoon, everybody. Julia, Lori, Keta, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. Oh, I would have paid to be a fly in the wall when all this started coming out. I think Rachel Smith was asking what was said about the creek. In most of my last readings, I do believe that she had been moved, but in my last few readings, it really honed in on that little creek, little stream sort of like thing that runs out the back of their home. I think that's what he was doing between 2 and 4 a.m. when they said he was wandering around the property and all that. I think he was digging up a spot there. And if he dug in that stream bed and put her in there, covered it back up with the dirt, let the water run over top of it again with the rocks on top. Don't forget the dogs lose scent when they hit water. So that's what my reads have been showing. So yep, round two, day 2, round 2. Hello, Jules, Farah. Hello, everybody joining. I wish I could say all of you's here. Paranormal Polly, hello. Diane, hello. Lily, Farah, Luby Lou, hello, welcome. Okay, so Spirit Moon says she did a pendulum reading on the break, and it confirmed what I had said about Suzanne and where she's buried. No, they are on the third witness. Hello, Leland. Nice to see you. Elizabeth, Leslie, Mark Ray. They're due back in 15 minutes. Okay, so I want to get to this, you guys, because there's a few things that I did miss that did also come out. So I'm going to turn my light on because we are in for a severe thunderstorm and 100-kilometer-an-hour winds. So I am keeping my fingers crossed, you guys, that we don't lose power. Okay. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, so on May 10th, okay, from 12:42 to 5:55, Barry is in his room, and that is confirmed by video surveillance. 3:30 that day, while he's in his room, he texts Suzanne to call him. Now, at 5:15, Barry received a call from Ritter. Okay, that was the neighbor. So this conflict is a confliction of what he with CBI statements, because he originally says on May 10th, he was at the work site when he got the call from Ritter, right? So when he leaves his room at 5:55, his shirt is changed again, and he's changed his statement, the statement that he made in April, and says he was in the room but won't say what he was doing. Okay, but he had said on May 13th when he was interviewed that he was working at the job site that day. Okay, so this is something here that I had missed at 6 p.m. Okay, so 5 minutes when he leaves the room. He comes back at 6 p.m. with a shovel and a rake in his hands and is entering the hotel again. He places all the tools in the hotel lobby for his workers. It's all hand tools, nothing electric. Okay, so that's one thing there that I had missed. Like I said, I've got 5 or 6 different ones open now because everybody's jumping in with getting this information out from the courtroom. Dateline is also in the courtroom, as well as many others. I've got about 5 of them that are in there that I have up on my computer so I can get everybody's info that they're putting out, because some channels are just reporting, okay, at 5:55 he left the motel. Some of them aren't telling us that at 6 p.m. he came back with a shovel and a rake and stuff like that. So I'm getting a lot more information by bouncing around. So that way I can't really watch what's going on in chat, you guys. That's why I've got the moderators, because I am busy bouncing around all these feeds to try and get you every little bit of information that is coming out of the courtroom. So please have a little patience with me. Well, thank you, Debbie. Yes, we are keeping all the trolls off. So I will mention again, please do not mention other sites, other feeds, what others are saying. I do not put anything on here that I cannot personally verify. My sister Des, our head mod, is just messaging me. And she will be popping in and out because she has the kids at the pool. So I'll be relying a lot on my other mods. You guys are so welcome. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. There she is. Dairy D Dauntless Detours. That's my sister. She will be popping in and out. She is at the pool. So as I'm saying, I don't want any bashing of Suzanne or Jeff. You will be removed immediately. And no mentions of other sites or other things that are being posted elsewhere. Because if I can't verify it, then I don't want it in my feed. I'm responsible for everything that is put out here and can be held accountable for it. So that's why I decided to spend my whole day, each day that this is going on, online with you guys, and letting you know what is coming out of the courtroom, so you don't miss anything. So please don't let me down. I respect each and every one of you. Please respect my wishes. I'm not trying to be mean or rude or ignorant. It's just, this is the way I have to do things to protect myself and protect the integrity of the channel. Okay? So thank you very much, you guys, for understanding. I've already been called a bully once, or maybe my sister was. I don't know, because I know she went off on somebody for victim shaming, trying to victim shame Suzanne, and I know my sister went off on that person. So I don't know which one of us that person was calling one of us a bully anyway. And I won't stand for that, because I'm far from it. I've got a heart of gold, and I really do my best. Like I said, I'm not making one penny off of spending my whole day online to bring this to you guys. So I will not put up with any of that from anybody trying to say that I'm something I'm not. So I hope you guys understand. With utmost respect, I'm trying to say it as nice as possible, just so we all understand each other. I think they should bash the subscribe button, smash it. Yes, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bells. I will be covering, today is going to be the last day of the preliminary until the 23rd and 24th of August, and I will be covering that again for you guys too, okay? Well, thank you very much, you guys. I love you all. And we do. Respect is given where it's given to us, right? And I'm not going to let anybody else bash any of my subscribers here either for anything that they say. As long as things are being kept classy, even if you don't agree with what we say, you're entitled to your opinion. And as long as it's done respectfully, you're fine. I don't like having to block anybody. Okay, so with that being said, guys, another thing that I did miss, that there was somebody in chat that brought it to my sister Darren D's attention. When we were talking about the trash can incidences, you guys, I hope you don't hear all this thunder and lightning coming in. One of those garbage trips, he was getting rid of some tranquilizer material. I spent about 40 minutes going back through all the tweets and messages on Patreon and Reddit and all that, all the ones that I'm following, to see if I could find that, because I did not want to mention it unless I could find it myself and see that it's coming from a reliable source. And it did come from one of the news channels, and I missed it. Not only was Barry getting rid of tranquilizer paraphernalia in a garbage can when he was in Broomfield, there was also a dart cap, a tranquilizer dart cap, not the actual tranquilizer dart, but the cap for it, found in the dryer at the Morphew home on Puma Path. So I did want to get that out there. My sister did bring it to my attention. She is great. She's my right hand, as are my other mods here. So I thank them for doing the wonderful job too that they are doing, and keeping everybody feeling like this is a safe place for you guys to come, where you're not going to be bashed or bullied or anything like that. And my mods do an awesome job of making that enjoyable for all of you. Yeah, so they did find a cap in the dryer at home. So it's going to be an interesting afternoon, guys. They're going to be starting in about 5 minutes. I'm very anxious, because now they're getting into the good stuff with times and dates. They are now at the point where they are talking about when Barry made it to Bloomfield. So I do think that there is going to be a lot more information now that is going to show that there's no other possible way that anybody else could have done anything to Suzanne but Barry. This is what I was saying to you guys yesterday. I know it was a little tedious yesterday, and things were coming out that didn't sound like they really mattered. And like I said yesterday, they're picking up all these little cookie crumbs. And by the time they put all these little cookie crumbs together, they're going to have one big ass chocolate chip cookie. And those chocolate chunks are going to be the shit from Barry that's in that cookie. Okay. Every lie and everything that he is told is going to be part of that cookie. But they have to put all them little crumbs together. As tedious and as boring as some of it is, I think it needed to be said, because it does give more substance to why they finally arrested Barry. Okay. So I hope that explains a little bit more for you guys. I'm going to go get all these links back up again. So we are ready to go when court starts again, which would be starting in about 3 minutes time. So let me get these all back up. And this is another thing that I found funny, you guys, that I'm just going to go back into a little bit of what was already said. When the FBI agent says after several interviews with Barry, his statements continued to change about where he was when he got the call about Suzanne. The agent also says that Barry would not tell them what he was doing inside that motel room from noon until 5:55 when he got the call. And here's another one that I had missed earlier, that the agent also says that over the course of several months, Barry's had opportunities to come forth if he had remembered anything about what he had thrown out when he said, I can't remember, I can't remember. He had several months and never came back to agents to say he recalled what was in the trash that he threw away. So, I mean, there's a lot here that Barry is sinking himself. There's a lot of conflicting statements that he has given. I think we have pretty much stayed on top of most of those. And a lot of this stuff, you guys, too, has come out in several of my reads. And thank you to everybody that went on to my Twitter and thanked me there too for covering this. I appreciate that. Okay, so I think I've got all 5 feeds back up. And nobody is back yet. I'm watching all 5 to see when the judge is back in the courtroom and when things are about to start again. So is there anything quickly that anybody has a question about that maybe I can answer while we're waiting for this to start? Brenna, yes. It seems to me, and this is quite ironic, because the defense really said a lot of hurtful things and really did a severe bashing on Suzanne. And then when the prosecution got up to recross, because they have the final say, like when the prosecution puts a witness on, they question the witness, then the defense gets to question their witness, and then the prosecution can readdress that witness before that witness is released. So after all the bashing that the defense tried to do on Suzanne Morphew to make her look like a bad person and make it look like some way this was her fault, the prosecution got back up and readdressed some of that. And that's when the prosecution case started coming out. Okay, if you want to play dirty with Suzanne, we're going to play dirty with you. Because you know what else we found on Barry Morphew's phone? All these sex sites. I have recently learned, I had wrote down a name because I thought that maybe it was a female that Barry might have been having an affair with, Ashley Madison. My sister filled me in to say that that was some kind of porn site or something, or hookup site for couples that want to cheat on their spouse. It's like, oh my God. I did see a lot of the people covering this that are in the courtroom say that Barry sat straight up in his chair and crossed his arms and he was mad as a hoot owl. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So the prosecution decided, like, you want to play dirty? Well, here you go. We're going to do the same thing. Okay, Melmac says it's a dating site for married men. There you go. So the prosecution decided, yeah, you want to play dirty? We're going to play dirty. Here you go. And then they put out that he was on porn sites and dating sites and this Ashley Madison. There you go. So you're not looking too bright right now, Barry. You're not the sharpest bulb in the room. Getting your lawyers and allowing your lawyers to attack your wife the way that you allowed them to attack her character, and you say you love her. Oh, just turns my stomach. So nobody is posting yet. Everybody is still idle. Oops, I forgot to add this one. Okay. Okay, so we are past the 1:30 mark, you guys, and nobody is putting out any information. Oh, thank you, Sherry. I am going to try and do an updated read on Suzanne to see if she has anything now that this has started, if she has anything she wants to say about it, or if anything else is going to come out about what maybe Barry is going to try and pull next. See what will come out before the next 2 days, August 23rd and 24th start. Let's see if Suzanne will help us get some information about what more is going to be coming out. I believe that Melmac says, I just feel the DA has, I think they have maybe some body parts. Also here, the Stars Brightly says that the girls will be connecting the dots. This is another thing I spoke about earlier in the morning session, that the girls have totally read this 130-page arrest affidavit. They know everything that's in it. Nothing that comes out today is going to be a shock for them. I think the only thing that has really perturbed them is seeing pictures of their mother and some of the evidence, pictures of some of the evidence and some of the messages. One of the daughters, I believe it's the younger daughter, did break down in tears a couple of times. So I think they already know. Sorry, you guys, I'm just adjusting a few things here. Trying to get things, and the rain just started, so I'm praying to God that I do not lose internet connection. If we lose power, I am screwed. Okay, so I think I got everything set up properly here now. Oops, almost knocked my coffee over. Okay, so let me go through these again. Okay, there's still nothing. Okay, let me just go and make sure that this is on slow mode for my mods. Sorry, you guys, I'm just going into it now just so I can make sure that this is all on slow mode for my mods so they don't have a hard time. keeping up, and I keep forgetting how I get to it. I think it's here. Yes. Okay. Okay, it is now on slow mode. Okay, so I did activate the slow mode so my mods can keep up with all these comments and questions that you guys may have. Let me go back here now and check and see if anybody is putting out any. Okay, so they are now back from lunch, and Agent Johnny is back on the stand. Everybody is starting to put their information out coming from the courtroom. There's only one that hasn't started putting info out yet, but I'm sure that will come. At least I hope so, because that's the one I got a lot more information from. Okay. Okay, so right now they are looking at Exhibit 56. So there's been 56 exhibits so far, you guys. This is the text message he had deleted off his phone from Suzanne. The text is from May 6th at 10:13 a.m. There were only 2 messages that were deleted. I don't know yet what they say with the, oh my gosh, the rain is like, it's flooding outside. Oh my gosh. We are having a terrible storm, you guys, so please keep your fingers crossed that my power doesn't go out. If I do disappear, you know why. I'm letting you know in advance. Okay, let me check other sites to see if I can see what the 2 messages were that were deleted. There might be an objection over showing this because I'm not seeing any of them putting out any information regarding what these messages were that were deleted. And I'm trying to bounce around between 5 or 6 pages that I've got open here, you guys. So please bear with me. Okay, so one of the text messages that Barry deleted, one was on May 6th when Barry sent a text message to Suzanne talking about suicide. Going to see my savior. This life on earth is a mere grain of sand compared to eternity. So that's one of the messages Barry sent to Suzanne. We've heard about this before in exhibits that were shown to the court, that Barry had Suzanne in a closet, choking her out by the throat, and he held a gun to his head asking her, "Is this what you want?" So here is another one now on May 6th. That was back in 2020. And now we have him again on May 6th, just mere days before Suzanne goes missing. Barry sending her a text message saying, he's talking about suicide and saying, "I'm going to go see my savior. This life on earth is a mere grain of sand compared to eternity." So a lot of narcissistic behavior going on. On May 7th, Barry Morphew text a person. So this is the other one that was deleted. Barry Morphew text a person about getting a new truck. Attempted to call Suzanne's dad, Gene. Also text George Davis. Mallory was sending pictures of their trip to Utah. And also a text that said, "Finally got the job." So that was a text from Mallory to her dad saying, "I finally got the job." Oh gosh, you guys, I wish I had my camera set up. I would show you the front of my house. I've got probably about 20 feet to the road, but the road is totally underwater. Oops. I don't know if you guys just heard that thunder and cracking. Okay, so May 8th, 7:02 a.m., computer scientists able to recover from notes on phone a list of grievances against Barry, 50 reasons why Suzanne is leaving the marriage. Oh, you guys did hear that thunder and cracking in the background? So that's interesting. On May 8th, that a computer scientist was able to recover from notes on the phone a list of grievances against Barry, 50 reasons why Suzanne is leaving the marriage. Another text recovered from Barry's phone talks about suicide, which was sent to Suzanne, that said, "When I die, which won't be long, ... Okay, so Agent Gressing said he spoke with Sheila and Barry Morphew and other friends about this list. He also spoke to Barry about a time in Mexico trying to take her phone and look at it. On May 8th, the note in Suzanne Morphew's list on her phone of the 50 reasons why she wanted to leave the marriage, one of those was a lot of women on Facebook, and said it was good for business. So one of the things that she put in there is, I'm assuming this has to do with Barry, that he had a lot of women on Facebook and he said it was good for business. So that was one of the 50 reasons why she wanted to leave the marriage. I'd love to see that whole list. So it seems he was pretty controlling even with her phone, because Agent Grossing, the agent, I'm just going to say the agent spoke with Sheila and Barry. I guess Sheila must have been there, and other friends about the list. And then he also spoke to Barry about a time in Mexico trying to take her phone and look at it. So it's like nothing to her. You know, she couldn't have anything for herself. He was really controlling. Oh, good. Okay, so my other feed is back. Thank you. Okay, so right now they're rehashing some more of the things that we heard about yesterday about Suzanne Morphew saying Barry was pulling their daughters into their fights. So that is on the list. Okay, so I've got some more about what's on this list. The agent spoke with Sheila about Suzanne Morphew list. More example of grievances were concerns about recovering from cancer, with Barry still in the picture as it stressed her out. Concerns about cameras in the garage, accusing Suzanne of having a boyfriend. And apparently the agent spoke with Barry regarding this. Sorry, you guys, I'm just bouncing around between all the feeds that I have open so I can get you all the information. Okay, so the agent spoke with Sheila about Suzanne Morphew list again. This is just a repeat of what has already been said about concerns about cameras in the garage and accusing Suzanne of having a boyfriend. She doesn't feel like she could have recovered with Barry still in the picture. Again, the thing about Mexico. Okay, let's see if there's anything new on any of the other feeds. Okay, so there's another one here that says Suzanne texted her sister about Barry Morphew being allegedly physically abusive. So that was in a text from Suzanne to her sister, saying that Barry was being physically abusive and that Suzanne wanted out of the marriage. Sister told investigators she didn't really know how to respond. Really? That's your sister. Anyway. So on May 8th at 9:28 a.m., Suzanne Morphew sent a text to her sister Melinda saying Barry Morphew was abrasive and abusive. So that was the day before she went missing. And on May 8th, multiple calls between Suzanne Morphew and Barry Morphew were sent back and forth to each other Friday morning. At 10:55 a.m. on the Friday morning, Barry sent a text, "I love you, Suzanne." So just to let you know, that Friday morning that Barry sent the text at 10:55 a.m. saying, "I love you, Suzanne," was May 8th. So I find it funny that at 9:28 a.m., Suzanne Morphew sent a text to her sister saying that Barry was being abrasive and abusive. And then, like an hour and a bit later, Barry texts Suzanne saying, "I love you, Suzanne." It's just odd. Let me check the other ones now. She also told her sister that she wanted, on May 8th, wanted out of the marriage. So on May 8th, Suzanne Morphew sent a picture of Barry standing outside Moonlight Plaza waiting for pizza for the girls. The girls are in Utah on a road trip. I don't know what she meant by that. I don't know what she means by this, because she says, I'll read it exactly how it's written. On May 8th, Suzanne Morphew sent a picture of Barry Morphew standing outside Moonlight Pizza, waiting for pizza, to the girls. The girls are in Utah on a road trip. So I don't know how that sentence isn't proper. So I don't know what she's meaning by that. There's not a lot coming out when they're just talking about nonchalant stuff like this. There's not many people commenting on what's being said, because I think it's getting into the little bit of tedious stuff again. But I'm telling you, once times and stuff from the truck and cell phone records start coming into play, I'm going to have a hard time keeping up here again. Okay. So he sent that to the girls, a picture of him in front of the pizza place. Okay, I get it. Who was that just commented that? History underfoot, waiting for pizza, was captioned to the photo Suzanne sent to the girls. Okay, so Suzanne sent that to the girls, a picture of Barry. Okay, it makes sense now. It's just the way it was worded. It didn't make sense to me. So thank you for clarifying that for me. I appreciate it. You're very welcome, Spirit Moon. I'm able to look at the chat a little bit here, because there's not much coming out, because it's a lot of tedious stuff. Okay, so the next one here. Between 8 and 9 p.m. on May 8th, Facebook codes were reset. She friend requested 23 people. In total, 20 of them were men. Investigators asked Barry if it was him, and he said no. I believe that she was already dead by 9. There was a witness, Dawn, that's seen them, but it was on the 9th, I think, or the 8th. That said, I think it was the 8th, and it wasn't them. It was just Barry, which would line up with this right now, outside Moonlight Pizza, waiting for pizza. So maybe they did go there in the afternoon, but that was on the 8th. It wasn't on the day she went missing. Yes, I do believe that it was Barry that added all those people. I mean, forensics and people that deal with demeanors of people will put 2 and 2 together right there, that this is not something commonly that Suzanne ever did on Facebook, to add that, number one, to add that many people at once. And I'm sure she wouldn't add 20 men knowing how jealous Barry already was until she left Barry. So him doing this, that's just part of his cover. I think he found out. I think he knew about Jeff one way or another, whether he had gotten into Suzanne's phone without her knowing, or seen, looked over her shoulder and seen. That was another thing that the defense, when they came into court this morning, they looked at the prosecution and said, "Can you move over? I don't need you looking over my shoulder." Huh. Okay, so also between, it doesn't saying a time, but it's saying on May 8th, Suzanne Morphew sent messages to Sheila Oliver about her daughter's wedding the next day. So that was on the 8th. I believe she was killed on the 9th, and I believe that it was possibly her sister or somebody that she was speaking to when the conversation just ended abruptly. And I think that's when Suzanne was killed. I've always said I believed right from the beginning that it was done on the 9th. My cards, right, the very first reading I did said it was done before she was reported missing. So I said right from the beginning it was done on the 9th. And that's stayed consistent throughout the whole thing. There's quite a few of them here that aren't really talking about what is being said. There's one that is very chatty about it and is telling us a lot of what's being said in the courtroom, but there's 3 of them sitting here. There's not much information coming from them, and the one had tons of information. So I think that they're more or less maybe a little tired from the morning session. So thank God I still have one here that seems to be tweeting everything. Okay, so on May 9th, text messages. At 9:50 a.m. or not. Okay, so this is on May 9th. 9:50. It doesn't say whether this is AM or PM. Barry says to Suzanne, want to go on a hike? Suzanne, at 9:52, Suzanne answers, where? Barry doesn't respond. So I think he might have been planning to push her off a cliff or something. And then changed his mind. Because wait till you see the next ones. So when Suzanne asks, like 2 minutes later, where, and Barry doesn't respond. So later on, he starts asking about summer tires on the Range Rover. So that was like, she never got a response to when she said, where do you want to go hiking? She never got a response. And then he starts asking about if there's summer tires on the Range Rover. And then at 10:36, Suzanne texts him back and says, want to meet to hike? 12 minutes later at 10:48, Barry replies, no, I'm coming home. And then Suzanne messages back, get hot tub stuff. So I think he was maybe trying to get her to go on a hike so he could push her off a cliff or something, and then changed his mind. And then, like, why are you asking what kind of tires are on the Range Rover? So next is Exhibit 60 is being showed. It's a Google map of where the helmet and bike was found versus where the home is on Puma Path. Suzanne Morphew's helmet was 50 feet from the road. So somebody heaved it in the bush, and I believe that was Barry. Jeff advised Suzanne to have contact info in the helmet in case of a crash. So that's how they knew that it was Suzanne's helmet. So investigators' last interviews with Barry were April 5th and April 22nd, 2021. And he has refused to speak with them since being arrested. I think he was thinking about pushing her off a cliff or something and changed his mind. If I don't start seeing some information coming out of these other two sites, you guys, I'm just going to close them out. I hate to do that because the one I was getting a lot more information from. So it was said that when they left for the lunch break, Morphew turned from the front defense table to watch his two daughters leave the courtroom. And it said that they had big smiles today. Okay, so May 9th, while Barry Morphew was away, Suzanne was sending LinkedIn messages to Jeff. Investigators showed a picture Suzanne sent to Jeff to Barry. He said he looked drunk. And she had drunk eyes. Investigators say this is the last sign of Suzanne being alive. So investigators showed a picture of Suzanne sent to Jeff. So I guess Suzanne sent a picture to Jeff, and they showed that picture to Barry. And Barry said she looked drunk and had drunk eyes. Rude. And I guess that was the last picture they say that Suzanne took when she was alive. Oh, he must be just crawling up the back of his seat. So on another site, it's saying Barry Morphew left the home around 1:38 p.m. Suzanne Morphew sent a message to Jeff saying, "Guess who's alone again?" At 2:03, a picture was sent sunbathing, and she sent that to Jeff. This picture is the last proof of life of Suzanne Morphew. Barry looked at the photo and allegedly told investigators she looked drunk, described her eyes as drunk eyes. It would take the edge off for the night. Oh my gosh. So the prosecution has now turned over questioning of their witness to attorney Drew Nielsen. She is now questioning agent Johnny Grussing. They're looking at Barry Morphew phone records proving that Barry called Suzanne as he drove home from Broomfield. No answer. So this ought to get interesting now. So the defense is now cross-examining the FBI agent. And they're asking the FBI agent about all the calls made from Barry to Suzanne. Okay, so Anne M. said if he called her from Broomfield, if he called her from Broomfield, where was her phone pinging? I thought the last ping was before 5 a.m. on May 10th. It was at 4:20 or 4:30 a.m. on May 10th, and they're going through Barry's records on Barry's phone. So that's how they're seeing that he called her. I don't think her phone was pinging anywhere. I think he destroyed her phone, but that's still, even if he destroys her phone, it doesn't stop him from calling her number. So they're going through the information that they have got on Barry's phone. And I think that he did that knowing that they could probably get records from the telephone company and that it would show there that he was trying to call her. I just answered that. I think that Barry destroyed her phone. So God knows where it was, probably in one of those trash stops that he made. He probably got rid of her phone there, and it probably got smashed to bits. So nobody could hear it or nothing. And I believe that it doesn't stop him from still calling her number, because her number with the phone company would still be active, even though her phone is smashed to bits. She's still paying for a service, so they're still giving, like, the number would still be live. It's just it wouldn't go through to that phone or ring because he probably destroyed that phone. And I believe that he did that as part of his alibi. Look I tried to call her. So May 10th, Barry Morphew called Suzanne at 11:20 a.m., knowing she was already gone, then called Mallory at 12:06 p.m. They're saying that Agent Grusing helped write the 129-page arrest affidavit. Barry Morphew spoke with law enforcement 23 times. Barry didn't LE until February 28th, 2021 about the chipmunks. So I'm assuming they were saying Barry didn't say anything to law enforcement until February 28th, 2021 about the chipmunks, 9 months after Suzanne went missing. And I believe that's the reference about the phone pinging outside the home. That was his excuse that he was hunting chipmunks. Attorney Drew Nielsen is now questioning Agent Grusing. They are looking at Barry Morphew phone records proving that Barry called Suzanne as he drove home from Broomfield. No answer. So I believe that he did that trying to set up his own alibi. Like, if I killed her, why would I call her? Well, you did that so it wouldn't look like you were the one that did it. You think we're all dumb? So defense is now asking the agent, says Grusing asked Barry Morphew why his phone was roaming around their property. He asked Barry if he was looking for her. Barry says that's when he was shooting chipmunks. The defense argues that the agent testified that he doesn't know if the phone was bouncing around or if it was still. The agent said the 23 times speaking with law enforcement sounded like a high number. Barry's lawyer is questioning the agent about the pinging data. She is showing him Defense Exhibit H, Celebrate Report. So that's going to be one of the phone records, pinging and stuff like that. Okay, so also on May 9th, Barry Morphew's phone pinged near the river behind his home. Here we go, you guys. Remember what I said about that river? So on May 9th, Barry Morphew's phone pinged near the river behind his home. Investigators asked why this was. His response was, I was looking for a turkey that Mallory had shot some time ago. That was between 11:50 and 12:50 a.m. I told you his phone, I told you that river. Sorry, you guys, I'm just catching up on some of these tweets and going back through them all to see what I have given to you and what I haven't, and if there's anything more that others added that other ones didn't. I don't want to confuse you. So there you go. His phone was pinging the night of May 9th down at that riverbed. Again, they're talking about the night before Suzanne was reported missing, that her Facebook codes were reset. Barry was asked if he did it, and he denied it. So the defense is arguing right now that Barry Morphew's phone could be staying still in one spot when the former agent says his phone was pinging on several places on the outside of the house. Defense says it could have been in one place, and the agent says that's why we asked him what he was doing. But the pings were showing that his vehicle was moving around on that property. Okay, so right now, the defense attorney is talking about push pins on a map, locations where Barry Morphew's phone pinged. This is one of Barry's lawyers is speaking about how much time it takes for someone to walk from one distance to another. Well, we know he didn't walk because he was getting in and out of his truck, right? And the truck data shows that his doors were opening and closing and that truck was moving. So I'm assuming the Cellbrite report is pinging the pings. This is the third witness on the stand today. So there's been 5 in total. I don't think they're going to get through 3 more. So I guess it's a lot of technical stuff being discussed now because nobody is sending out comments from the courtroom again. I do believe there's some arguing about this information because the tweets have come to a stop, and so has the other information from the other sites. Still nothing yet, guys. It's been almost 10 minutes. So I believe that there's some objections going on. Because they're arguing, right? They were last before the information coming out of the courtroom stopped, came to a halt. The defense was arguing about the phone pings. Okay, so here's a new one. Defense Exhibit J, K, I, L, and M are all Google Maps around the Morphew home off Puma Path in Maysville with push pins on them. Barry's lawyer again is speaking about the distance between these points, referring to Barry Morphew's phone. Barry's lawyer says this shows he had to have had been moving through walls. MH, no, dumbbell shot a raccoon. Whichever. Why are you killing chipmunks and raccoons? Leave them be. Yeah, I'm not understanding why the girls are still team daddy after everything that they're hearing. Yeah, Google Maps is not wrong. What I think is going on, we'll see. Let me see if anything comes out about it, because I'm going to tell you what I think. Oh, the judge is getting a little upset. The judge has asked multiple times in court to keep masks on while inside the courtroom. Barry Morphew had to pull his mask above his nose. So I guess he thought he was special again. The thing about the pings, they're within a 5 to 10 feet area, maybe a little bit more, especially way out there where cell service is really patchy. But what it does show is that that phone was not staying still. He was moving around the property. That doesn't mean he was walking through walls, Miss Nielsen. That's Barry's attorney. Doesn't mean he was walking through walls or had to have walked through walls. It could be that he hit a dead spot. So the cell tower didn't pick up his phone's movement again until he moved to another spot. I think they're digging deep on this, and they're coming up with some far-fetched things in this. But I think it's going to come out. So I think there's still some arguing going on around these pings. I think maybe the defense team's tech guys should have let them know how pings work before they started arguing something in court. That, I mean, these are pretty smart lawyers. So for them to argue a minute point like that is not a good look for them. Again, the messages coming out of the courtroom, you guys, have really slowed. And I do believe it's because they're arguing over this minute stuff that is just about pings and how they can be used and how they can't be used, etc. Yeah, see, here's the latest one. The defense is still going over Barry Morphew's cell phone position on the Morphew property the day before Suzanne Morphew went missing, so on the 9th. Right now, they're going through coordinates, and the defense is detailing where exactly the phone was and how long it took to get to different points. Like I said, it's a minute issue because the ping points are not going to be exact, and if they hit a dead spot like inside a house or something like that, a lot of us know that do go out into the wilderness fishing, stuff like that. 5 feet from you, you can get service, and then 5 feet the other way, you can't. So I think they're arguing a minute point, and that's why I said that maybe these defense lawyers should have had a little talk with their tech guys that they have helping them on this case with the tech stuff. I think they should have been made aware that this is not out of the ordinary. So no, it's not that Barry Morphew is thought to have been walking through walls. It's relation to cell service. So, I mean, it's not a good look for them to be arguing a point like this. Is it important where his phone was? Yes. But they also have to know that the pings could be a little off, and the reasons why those pings should be off before they start arguing the point. Okay, I'm going to ask in the chat. I'm looking at some of the messages while this is at a standstill at court. I'm going to ask, please don't attack others in the chat for their opinions. Everybody is entitled to their opinion on evidence or stuff like that. I'm not going to stand for anybody attacking another subscriber. It just doesn't happen here. Everybody's entitled to their opinion on what they think during this case. I know some of us may not like it that people have a different view on the girls, and we can agree to disagree there because everybody is going to have their opinion on it. No, it's just lightly the sun came out after the thunder and lightning passed through, and now it's just a very light rain. Yeah, and the girls have had no contact with their mother's side of the family. But all I'm saying is please be respectable in the comments. Please don't attack other subscribers. If you think there's a problem with something somebody said, please have a mod address it. Don't get into a pissing match. Feeling good today, Debbie. Thank you for asking. Okay, let's get back to this and check what is going on. Okay, so the defense is still going over the Barry Morphew cell phone position on the Morphew property the day before Suzanne Morphew went missing. Right now, they're going through coordinates. Again, the agent is saying that's why we asked him what he was doing. Yes, Jackie, that can very well be. Like right now, they are totally being influenced by Barry's side of the family. Is it right? Is it wrong? It's not up for us to decide, I guess. I have my own opinion on it. But they've not been able to see Suzanne's part of the family. So we don't know what they've been told. What I do say about the girls is that they cannot be used as an excuse anymore not to release the affidavit. I don't get it. I don't think I could stick up for my dad, knowing that he's not, being charged with murdering my mom, and even the little bit of information that has come out is kind of pointing in the way that there isn't anybody else that could have done it. I may not react the same way, but like I said, the only influence they have is Barry and Barry's side of the family. So I don't agree with what they're doing and how they acted in the past with not looking for their mother, but what I will say about that is they cannot use the girls anymore as a reason to keep that affidavit sealed, because the girls are in court and subjecting themselves to everything, every bit of evidence. They made that choice on their own. So I do believe that they have had the chance to read all through that affidavit. And it's, they still want to be here to hear every gory detail. So I don't think that the judge can use that as an excuse anymore to keep this affidavit sealed. So that's what I'm going to say regarding the girls. It's not how I would react. Everybody reacts different. Let me see if anything else has come up yet. This is one of the reasons, you guys, why I don't like using, I'm not going to say the name of the site, but I don't like using it because you have to keep refreshing the page to update anything that has been put out there, or it should just automatically come up. The daughters are adults legally. I believe the youngest one is 17 going on 18. Yeah, every reason that the judge gave now for sealing that affidavit and to protect witnesses And the defense said, we need it sealed to protect the witnesses. Well, the defense are the ones that brought their names out. The defense said, we need to seal it because to protect the daughters. Well, guess what? The daughters are sitting in court and listening to everything. So that blows that right out of the window. And then the third reason was to give Barry a fair trial, because this is such a high profile case. They don't want all this out in the media. Well, guess what? You've allowed media into the courtroom, and you've allowed them. You didn't put a gag on what was being said in the courtroom. So you're allowing those media people to put it out there. So it blows all three of those reasons right out of the water. And I don't think that Barry should be continuing to get this special treatment of having his arrest affidavit sealed. It goes against your constitutional right to open and transparent justice system. And it leads everybody to believe that there could be some corruption going on. Because why else? Only Barry Morphew. Why is it sealed? So I think all of the judge's reasonings to have it sealed have been blown out of the water, and the defense basically did that. The defense did it by naming witnesses. The defense knows that these girls were going to be in court, and the judge is allowing it to be broadcast by the media. Not video broadcast, but reporting on it. That's still a form of broadcasting. So all three of the reasons he gave, they're all blown out of the water. So this should be released immediately. So yes, one of the mods can put up the link, please, to that petition. We are going to get that petition out to Lauren Scharf this week. So maybe our signatures on that petition will help them to get some backing from the public, to help them get this released. Thank you, Debbie. And it seems to be that, yes, what's in my readings, even my readings from a year ago, it's coming out. So, okay, so my sister just put up the link there for the petition if anybody wants to go over and sign it. Well, it's one of your rights, Hazelnut. It's as a citizen, if you're in the United States, as a U.S. citizen, you have certain rights. Okay, and one of those is to be able for this justice system to be transparent, open, and available to the public. If it's not available to the public and it's being closed off like it is for Barry from the public, then that gives reason for the public to think, okay, what's going on here? Why is it being hidden? Why is it being kept from us? This is our legal right to know. Why is he getting this special treatment? And what's being hidden? That's what leads to all these accusations of corruption. I mean, he was charged with trying to bribe an official. So did he get one of those officials to accept one of his bribes to keep this quiet? It's because of what the court did that makes us want to believe that. And everybody's saying it. It's not just me. Who did he pay off? He's already charged with trying to bribe an official. So should that lead us to believe that maybe there's an official somewhere that did take the bribe and is helping keep this out of the public eye? Okay, so one of the people who are sending out information from the courtroom just said, sorry, everyone, they are showing things on the computer that are too small to read. They're going over Celebrate report extensively. District Attorney Linda Stanley has not questioned a witness today. So as I thought, they are going over these technicalities extensively. The Celebrate report would be like pinging and stuff like that. And it's so small that the people who are reporting from the courtroom cannot see it. Agent Grusing is saying he isn't too familiar with the program that the defense is sharing. He said this isn't what they use. They use another program and knows what this program is, but not really how to read the data. So Defense Exhibit XXX, another copy of a Celebrate report. Barry's lawyer is speaking about the precision value of the data. It's a more up-to-date program, I'm assuming. The state is objecting this foundation because the exhibit doesn't say whose phone the data came from or a phone number. So they're objecting to it being admissible. So there's something that my friend AK, a lot of you will know who AK is. He searched extensively for Suzanne. He just put up something regarding the pings, and it's information about the app that the defense is trying to use. It checks out how your phone reaches out for a signal, always tries to have second best, and will switch between towers due to signal interference. So yeah, it's not, thank you for that, AK. I must say thank you to him. I'm going to actually just retweet it. Give him a little shout out. I'm assuming that the girls won't be put on the stand because they're sitting through this. So from another person, we got The agent is still on the stand as Barry's lawyer hammers at the exact time it would have taken for Barry Morphew to run around the family house on May 10th when he pulled up to the home and Suzanne was texting her boyfriend on the porch. Confusing talk about latitude, longitude, and feet per second. This is mind-numbing testimony, and people in the courtroom are struggling to stay awake. Judge asks the agent if he understands the method that Barry's lawyers is using to explain this. It's the first time he's seen it, he says. He says he can follow, but he says that he's learning because he's not used to this program. They use a totally different program. So another one is just saying here that they're still going through phone pings. It's hard to keep track of all the points, so I don't want to confuse anyone by trying to explain it all. Exactly what I thought was going on. So this is why we're not getting a lot of information coming out of the courtroom right now, you guys, because this stuff is just so hard to explain if you're not tech savvy. I think you got to be a little bit more than tech savvy to understand positioning and longitude and latitude and feet per second and all this crap. I shouldn't have said crap because it's all important, but I don't think it's the normal person like me and you would not understand it unless you've worked in this kind of job, I guess. Jenny Lynn says, yes, this is stalling and dragging things out. Well, the defense has got to realize they only have so much time. Karen, that's not true. Karen says the affidavit was kept sealed due to another YouTuber streaming the proceedings. No, that has nothing to do with the affidavit. The reason why we cannot watch this hearing today on Barry Morphew is due to another YouTuber streaming one of the hearings that Barry had last week. It has nothing to do with the affidavit not being released. And that's what I mean about putting out wrong information. That's not why the affidavit was kept sealed. Yeah, so getting back to what I was saying, you guys, I think the defense should be a little more picky on what they are going to fight over in this preliminary hearing. This isn't a trial. This is the preliminary hearing, and I think they should have been a little bit more picky over what they wanted to fight, the points that they did want to fight, because each side is only allotted so much time. So they've already found out that the first witness that was on there, they were upset that they couldn't continue to cross-examine him because the time was up. Time was up. No, we're moving on to the next one. So I think that they're pushing boundaries, and I think that they should have selected the points that they wanted to fight a little better than what they have. because a lot of people aren't going to understand this anyway. Still going through phone pings, and everybody is finding it hard to keep track. That's what I'm getting from multiple sites. Okay, so if people in the courtroom right now are starting to fall asleep trying to listen to this, these defense attorneys should take notice of that, because if their jury starts falling asleep with the boring testimony, they're gonna do some damage to their case, right? Okay, so the next thing that comes out in the arrest warrant affidavit, Barry's lawyer points out there's a sentence which says, there's an opinion that Barry is most likely chasing Suzanne around. She asks the agent, did the neighbors hear unusual noises at 2:44 p.m. on the 10th? He replies, no. Well, do these lawyers know how far away their closest neighbor is? Like, that was a dumb question, as far as I'm concerned, for Barry's lawyers to ask. Did the neighbors hear unusual noises? There's no way that those neighbors would hear anything. The distance between the houses is so far apart there, with trees and everything in between. Like, and this is what I mean. They're not using their time wisely. Any mods that are in chat, please post something to the chat so Des can see which mods are in chat, please. Pop Rock says, I bet you they didn't hear him shooting the 85 chipmunks either. Yeah, and it's like, I just find, like I said, you guys, I worked in criminal law for many, 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 many years. And I just feel these are very smart lawyers, but they're not doing themselves justice right now with some of these questions. Like, know the layout of the land, know how far away each house is. There's no way that the neighbors could hear anything. Even if Suzanne was screaming, they wouldn't hear it. They're too far away, trees and everything in between. Come on. Like, they're making themselves look foolish, I think. Brenda says, mic drop, Pops rocks. And like I said, I don't think that they are using their time wisely. Diane says the mods have been needing to leave. I think you have one other one here. Yeah, my sister's still here somewhere. Oh, there's Christine. Christine is here. She's one of my mods. Thank you, Christine, for helping out Des. I think a few of them had to leave because of the time zones. So I thank you, Christine, for being here, and my sister Des. Okay, Cat H is here too. So if you guys can just please watch the chat, help Des out for a bit while she's in the pool, and just remove any comments that shouldn't be there. You're in the water with your $2,000 phone. Yeah, smart, sister. Okay, so let me just get this in order here, you guys. The tweets are coming in kind of jumbled. Okay, so the defense is putting another exhibit. It's Exhibit T. It's been admitted into the record. The judge allows the exhibit. If you were wondering, Agent Johnny is only the third witness the prosecution has called to the stand. They were planning to call 8 for the first 2 days, and they've only got, this is the third. So Exhibit T is being admitted. It's a copy of the Celebrate Reader's Report with precision value, which Barry's lawyer points out was info in the affidavit, but didn't have the precision values the defense would like to add. Okay, so this person who is giving us some information from the court is having difficulty with the internet, so is trying to use the phone now, so tweets will come slower. Hopefully they can get things fixed soon on the computer. Exhibit T is admitted, and that's the copy of the Celebrate Reader's Report. So let me bounce around here, you guys, between all these and see what else I can get for you. It is hot as hell here now, since the storm looks like it's passed through. Okay, so still going through phone pings, blah, blah, blah. Now the next one is, let me get on this thread. The defense is now recounting the movement of Barry Morphew's truck. It was parked in the Morphew driveway from the afternoon of May 9th to early morning May 10th. So that's why I say, you guys, I do believe that she is buried probably under that little stream. I do believe he used the bobcat to do that. I'm going to move my fan here because it is really hot. Sorry, guys, just give me a minute here. Alrighty. Okay, so there should be a lot more tweeting now because they are getting back on to things that we can all understand, i.e. the truck. Okay, so they are going to take a break, probably for about 10 minutes. They are only on the 3rd out of 8 witnesses that, and there's no sign of this agent stepping down anytime soon. And the Chaffee County Courthouse docket is full tomorrow. So I do know that this is going again on August 23rd and 24th, but they were hoping to get through 8 witnesses between yesterday and today, and that is not going to happen unless they are here until midnight. So okay, so they're taking a break. They will be back at 5:30 Eastern. So I'm going to take 10 minutes, you guys, to throw something together to nibble on. It's 5:30 at night here. I will be here until court ends. So that will bring me probably till about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. So I need to grab something quick to eat now. Well, thank you, RapView. I appreciate that. Des can put up the PayPal link if any of you do want to donate. It's not required. They are on break for about 10 minutes, Brennan. So with that, and thank you again, Christine, for being here and helping out Des while she's in the pool. I'm going to take a 10-minute break too. Let me grab something to eat real quick, at least get something made. And I will be back with you guys. Feel free to chat it up amongst yourself, but please stay classy and please be respectable of each other. I would appreciate that. And I will see you all again in about 10 minutes. Okay, you guys, I'm just going to let you know if I am a couple minutes late, don't fret. I just got to run next door and close up my mother's place. She is away on vacation, and just throw some water in her plants real quick and get her place locked back up. So if I am a minute or two late, please don't stress. I will be here. I just wanted to say hello to AK. My sister is on the phone right now saying that you are in chat. I missed you the last time, so if you are still here, I just wanted to give you a shout out. Aw, thank you, AK. Sorry about that, you guys. I hit something and bought myself right out of chat. Yes, it's good to have AK drop in and say hello. For those of you who don't know who AK is, he was a vital part in searching for Suzanne. He was also with Adventures with Purpose when Adventures with Purpose was there, looking for Suzanne. He got them to get out there to do that and did try and do some searches, but the water had frozen up. So I very much appreciate him stopping in and saying hello. Okay, so it should be starting any minute again. Summer, I don't think that Barry planted all this affair stuff, but I think there is stuff that he did add to it to try and make it look like this Jeff guy maybe did something to Suzanne. And again, that's just my opinion. Okay, so let me check you guys and see if Court is back. Oh, much love right back to you, AK. I miss working with you. I miss our little chit chats and working with you and trying to figure things out with you. Okay, so AK Peanut wants to know who AK is. AK was somebody who dedicated a lot of his time and energy starting right back when Suzanne Morphew went missing. He was out there doing a lot of searches. He didn't stop, even though he was threatened. They had guns pointed at them, and we all believed that that was coming from Barry's side. He didn't stop. It didn't deter him. He worked through the summer into the winter. He had Adventures with Purpose go out there. There was a few areas that AK wanted him to search out there, the Adventures with Purpose team. But unfortunately, the waters had froze over. They did get into part of a creek in between the Morphew home and the RV park. They were going through some of the creek there, breaking even ice as they went. And that is when they had to abort that mission because they ended up being almost like surrounded and had guns pointed at them and stuff like that. So it still hasn't deterred him. He is still out there doing his thing. I've got the utmost respect for him. Recently, he has teamed up with another YouTuber named Gonzo, and together they are just an amazing team. So if you haven't checked them out, I am going to shout them out. AK and Gonzo, you guys are awesome. You're my brothers, and I really appreciate everything that you guys do. I did do a lot of stuff, chit-chatting back and forth and trying to figure a lot of things out at the beginning of this with AK and some other people, trying to keep everything, all of our stuff together. So yeah, Gonzo and HRT are on a hiatus until I deal with some issues. I do not wish for them to be involved in what's about to happen. Hey, my brother, email me. Please email me, AK, and let me know what the heck is up. It would be nice hearing from you, and we can discuss that outside of open forum chat, if you know what I mean. I just want to make sure that you're always safe. You're like a brother to me. So please email me, AK. I almost called you by your real name. I had to correct myself there. So I get where he's coming from, you guys. Let's not press him for anything. And yeah, I did. I almost blurted out his real name. I'm bad for that. I'm bad. So I've got to really watch myself when it comes to that. He already has my email, Des. Like I said, we did a lot of work together at the very beginning of the Suzanne Morphew going missing. So I just want to make sure that he's okay, and he knows I don't repeat, so want to make sure you're safe, my brother. Okay, Flyer says, we still appreciate AK and Gonzo for their dedication and hard work for Suzanne, and same as we appreciate you, brother. Well, thank you very much, and I'm sure they appreciate that. AK's not dumb, you guys. He'll stay safe. He's just not one that takes kindly to being threatened or being told he can't do something that is fully legal to do. So I will say that in his defense too, is he's a smart man. He knows how far he can push things, and he knows, okay, I get you now. I know what you're talking about now, AK. Okay. Email me. Email me, my brother. Yes, I have done a reading on Michael Vaughn. It's in, if you go to my YouTube page, it's under the video list, the tab videos at the top of my page. Yes, so yeah, the tube crime. Do you remember all that? Okay, so let's get back to this and see. Court is back in session again. The agent is still on the stand, and Barry's lawyer, Nielsen, is still cross-examining him. She's going over the truck and cell phone data again from May 9th. At 1:55 p.m., the door opens at DSI, and there's surveillance video as well. At 2 p.m., Barry Morphew was getting his blade replaced on his Bobcat. So 2 p.m., May 9th at 2 p.m., he was getting his blade replaced on his bobcat. Interesting. Yes, AK, you stay safe. He's a smart man. He knows. He knows what he's got to do, and he knows how to do it. He's good at what he does. So thank you again, AK, for coming in and letting me know that you're good. And I'll be waiting that email from you. So I wonder why Barry was getting the blade replaced on his bobcat on Saturday, May 9th. Anticipation for having to dig somewhere? Like I said, you guys, I have some ideas, so okay, let me check some of the other ones that are putting out information here and see what they've got. Yes, he is, Elisa. Okay, so let's see what else we got here, you guys. Okay, defense is saying that the door opening events recorded from Barry Morphew's truck are not always accurate, in that on May 9th, there was an event that was captured where the door was open but never closed. So yeah, at 2 p.m., he was getting that blade sharpened, and that's the last text that Suzanne sent out was at 2:11. In Sherry's opinion, she says he had to get rid of the old blade because of evidence. No, because she wasn't murdered yet. I think he wanted a fresh, good blade on there so he could do some awesome digging. This was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. She wasn't murdered until about 9 o'clock that night, I'm saying, in my opinion. Hello, Anne. Yes, Rap View, I agree. The only cat involved here is the bobcat. So AK is spoke with the person that replaced the blade. He spoke to him in person. So that's interesting. I'm glad you did that, AK, because there's some information there that, okay, so he hit a curb with the Bobcat, crazy high on coke. Hope. Created 10,000 worth of damage to be repaired plus the blade. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to get back to, I won't be able to see the chat for a minute. I'm going to get back to the tweets here and Reddit and all that and see what else is here. Okay, so next. At 2:44 p.m., Barry comes home according to truck data, and the next door event is at 4:44, so 2 hours later. The agent said he asked Morphew if he would authenticate whether he left the door open or not. Barry's lawyer is checking the data on the truck again from May 9th and 10th. Defense has entered Exhibit GG, list of events comparing the door events to the light events on Barry Morphew's truck. Hmm. So there you go. You're getting some firsthand information, and I'm telling you, anything that you are seeing posted here from AK is 100% fact. Okay. This man I trust wholeheartedly. Like I said, I worked with him back a year ago when this all started happening. He's a man of his word, and if he says something, I trust it, and that's the end of that. So if anybody starts commenting about me allowing stuff like this in here, it's my channel, and I will allow it if I want to. And this is a verified, AK is a verified source. He is boots on the ground, hands in the fire, verified. I'm just trying to get through some of these. Pop Rock says he has to side with the agents on this one if they say it wasn't involved. Debbie Utes is asking, what's the DSI? It's a company that Barry worked for. Good evening, Dolly. Hello, Dolly. I'm sorry, I had to say it. I'm just trying to scroll through some of the chats here, and I seen that. And Dolly says, good evening, all in chat. I guess she's from the UK. And I just had to, hello, Dolly. Okay, back to the information here. Let's see. So guys, I'm just scrolling through all these feeds that I have, seeing what else is put up that may add to the information we already have. So that's interesting. One of the things that the defense says is that Barry Morphew's truck was parked in the driveway from the afternoon of May 9th to early morning May 10th, which means her body, I think, is just disposed on that property. I don't think he would want to roll through Salida and all the other little towns and that with body parts in his truck on his way to Broomfield, which is like an hour and a bit away. So I do think that there was other things that were being disposed of, like maybe weapons, maybe things that he used to clean up the scene, stuff like that. And another interesting thing was that it was interesting that the surveillance cameras in the house wasn't working during this time. So right now, there's a bunch of talk from Barry's attorney. She's attacking the technology that the agents used to figure out exactly where Barry Morphew and his truck were on May 9th and 10th. There's a lot of discussions going on about the odometer readings, parking light and door opening closing events on his Ford F-350 and whether they actually match up or not. So they're trying to attack technology. Hmm. Okay, so On page 6, Barry Morphew truck stays in the same coordinates at 4:44 p.m. until 9:25 p.m. Parking light events on page 7 doesn't change the coordinate of the truck. 6. Odometer events on May 9th. 3 odometer events, 10:04 a.m., 10:06 a.m., are around the same of the 2 parking light events. So there's a lot of things going on now that they're going to start going over about odometer readings and coordinates and how long I can see them. How long does it take it to get it from there to there and there to there? Hey, Cindy, glad to see that you are back. Exactly. There was a comment made earlier by Barry that said the reason that he was down by that stream, that I think it was around 3 a.m., that he was going looking for, or whatever time it was that they're saying that he was going around the property there and he was pinging everywhere. He said that he was looking for a turkey that Mallory had shot days before. I mean, a little far-fetched. I think you would smell it by then. I know they did already look in the creek, but if they, in that little stream, but if Barry dug down, used his digger to block the, like as he's pulling up the dirt to make like a dam, put Suzanne in there, cover her back up with dirt, let the water run over top of it again, put the rocks back, you would never know that that had been even moved. That's why I'm still stuck on that creek area. See, he can, there you go. That bobcat can dig 12 feet down. Okay, so he was spotted at the fire station number 5 on Saturday night around 10 p.m. A witness saw someone come down the mountain and enter Barry's truck. Dude had a headlamp on. Really? I thought that was debunked as, oh my gosh, I'm going back a while now. This is going back, trying to remember like a year ago. I thought, AK, that was that somebody had came forward or something and said that they had been out. See, I don't want to say anything because I'm not exactly sure what was said, but I thought that had already been debunked as being Barry. But I'm not 100% sure, so, but I thought that had already been debunked. Yes, this is just a proof evident presumption great preliminary hearing. There's, I think the defense attorneys are jumping in like it is a trial. I think they're wasting a lot of valuable time on bringing up things that will be brought up at trial. But I mean, I guess they know what they're doing. I don't know. No, I don't think it was even related to Barry from what I remember. I would have to go back into my old notebooks, into my notes and see, but I believe somebody had come forward saying that it was them, but I'm not sure. So I would have to look back into that. Okay, so according to an employee at Salida Stove and Spa, Barry's lawyer said from an interview with investigator Derek Graham, Barry Morphew visited on May 9th between 4 and 5:30 p.m. and that there was nothing unusual about his demeanor. And Barry's phone was on airplane mode. See, I lost getting a lot of that information when I don't want to even bring it up here. We'll talk later, AK. I know right around that time is when things kind of broke up. So I didn't end up finding out if that was verified or not with this other person that came forward about that incident. I'd rather talk in private about that because it's touchy subject, I guess we could say. Yes, Barry is charged with attempting to influence a public official. Brennan, I don't know how many the defense has, but I know the prosecution has 8 or 9 that they want to call. Okay, let me go through this again, you guys, see if there's anything new. Okay, so Barry Morphew had a conversation with Janelle and Colton Nebel at the store, according to Barry's attorneys. She is questioning the agent on his timeline. On May 8th, Morphew sent a message to Colton around 1:18 p.m. about getting his hot tub fixed, asking when he could come out to the home. There were 19 miles that were unaccounted for when Barry Morphew went to Broomfield. Barry's lawyer said this Salada Stove and Spa trip could account for 18 miles. So I'm assuming that there is, the prosecution is saying that there's 19 miles that are unaccounted for when they spoke with Barry, and he said exactly where he went. Well, if Barry didn't bring this Salida Stove and Spa thing up, then yeah, that would be unaccounted for. But don't, I don't know if AK can answer this, but doesn't he have to go through Salida to get up to Denver from Maysville? Yep, did it. Gone. We haven't got to that point yet, Gene, where they bring that into question. But I would assume that he would have had to go through Salida to get to Denver from Maysville, unless he took back roads. I don't know. I use Google Earth, you guys. Not necessarily, Kay Amari. Love you too, AK. Please email me. Aw, thank you. He is such a sweetheart, you guys. I've always believed in you, bud. You know that. I've seen some tears and we've had some pretty good conversations. So please email me and we will chat. And thanks for your support. Okay, so let's see if there's anything else here. So they're still on this 19 miles of unaccounted for. Yeah, they were saying that according to the employee at Salida Stove and Spa, when Barry visited, there was nothing unusual about his demeanor. Barry had a conversation with Janelle and Colton at the store regarding fixing the hot tub, I guess. Okay, so the agent's theory is that Barry Morphew did something to Suzanne Morphew when he got home on May 9th, chasing Suzanne around the home while she is conscious. The pushpin map that they presented said it isn't possible for him to move at 45 miles per hour. That's according to Barry's lawyers. At 2:45 p.m., Barry Morphew did something terrible to his wife and then went to get his hot tub fixed. Barry's lawyer asks. Agent Grusing responded, I don't think their timing is accurate, referring to Salida Stove and Spa. So Barry's lawyers are trying to debunk Barry being able to do anything to Suzanne. The defense is stating that in the arrest affidavit, the agent is saying at 2:45 p.m., this is on the 9th, that Barry Morphew did something terrible to his wife and then went to get his hot tub fixed. That's what his lawyer is saying, almost like a question. So you're trying to tell us at 2:45 Barry did something terrible to his wife and then went and got his hot tub fixed? And then the agent responded, I don't think their timing is accurate, referring to the Salida Stove and Spa. So when he went there. I will get that link for you, Des. Just give me a second. Carol, I am telling you right now, everything I'm reporting is what is happening in the courtroom. So this is from another person reporting. Barry's lawyers hammers at the investigation's theory. Barry's lawyer says, your theory is that BM did something to Suzanne at 2:44 when he arrived home. He was most likely chasing her while she was conscious. The agent says yes. Barry's attorney says the pushpin evidence refutes that theory. Do you think he traveled 50 miles an hour? So we've got, see what I mean? We got some different things being said. One said 45 miles an hour, one said 50 miles an hour. So between the walls of the house. So this is what Barry Morphew's lawyers are kind of trying to be facetious. The pin evidence refutes that theory. Do you think he traveled 50 miles an hour between the walls of the house? Do you still believe he was most likely chasing Suzanne while she was conscious? And the agent says, yes. Okay, so Barry's lawyer is going over the truck data again with the agent. Berla report from 3:25 a.m. to 3:49 a.m. A total of 7 door events and 6 parking light events. Indoor lights are also considered as parking lights. Yes, this is all approximate, people. She was being facetious when she says, do you think he was running 45 miles an hour? And like I said, with the phone pings, because of like AK said, with the interference in that, it's going to bounce off the strongest signal that it's going to get. So it doesn't mean that he was running through walls. It just means that he was bouncing off another tower due to maybe interference with the walls of the house or something outside of the house. Yeah, I think Barry is going to hurt their great record, Rapview. I agree with you there. So these defense attorneys are grasping, I think, at straws at this point. Because if you understand how cell towers work, then this could be explained. Yes, I've been sitting here. Thank you, Cindy. I've been sitting here all day. And like I said, I don't use the super chats and that. So this is all for Suzanne. So all I'm asking that you guys do to show your appreciation for me doing this for you is to hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe and notification bell. It's all free to do, and it helps my channel out greatly. Yeah, I think they are distracting and wasting some time. Well, thank you, Haley. I appreciate that. And you are very welcome for me doing this. I wanted to get this to you. I promised you guys that I would find a way to get this information to you. And I keep my promises and I keep my words. So here we are. Okay, so now Barry's lawyer is going over phone data of Suzanne Morphew and Barry Morphew. According to the cast report, an incoming call at 12:02 a.m. and an outgoing call at 2:17 a.m. on May 9th. Barry doesn't have a call until a little after 6 a.m. So that doesn't mean that Barry didn't use Suzanne's phone. Also, Suzanne's phone made an outgoing call at 2:53 a.m. of May 10th. That was half an hour before the door event occurred on Barry Morphew's truck. And we all know that Suzanne was in bed sleeping at that time. Suzanne wasn't one to stay up half the night. She wasn't well. So I think bringing stuff up like this is just helping sink their client. That's just my opinion. Did my sister drop her phone in the pool? Sis, did you drop your phone in the pool? Uh-oh. Where'd my sister go? Put it on an APB. Oh, thank you, Drama must remain on the stage. You're very welcome. There she is. Nope, she didn't drop her phone in the pool. There she is. Yeah, she said that she did get a waterproof. Now, that's dedication. And I mean, I love my sister to death. She's just amazing. And that's why I've always said this is her channel too, because she's just amazing. Oh, she's playing Frisbee with the dog. No, everybody was just asking where you were, if you dropped your phone maybe in the pool. Do you need me to post something? Post me a nice juicy chocolate shake. That would be nice right now in this heat. Hello, Bruce. Aw, Bella Rose, thank you. She says, I deserve 1 million+ subs. I would finally get a YouTube play button. I've got a long way to go to get a YouTube play button. It used to be you got one at 10,000, but now I think it's 100,000 I need before I even... that'll take me the next 10 years. I may be dead by then. The weather it's still cloudy in that, and we still got another round of thunderstorms coming in. So I have some chicken fingers and fries. Yeah, she can deliver now because Canadians still aren't allowed to go into the U.S., but Americans are allowed entry into Canada now if you're fully vaccinated. So yes, my sister can come. It's easier for her to get through than me. If I try and go through the border, they won't let me through just to go and see my sister. I can fly there, but I have to self-quarantine for 7 days or something like that. Okay, let's get back to these tweets and see what else has come up, if anything. Okay, so now Barry Morphew's lawyers is going over the phone data. They're saying that Barry doesn't use his phone and doesn't receive a call until a little after 6 a.m. Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. I just caught something here. Barry's lawyers are saying that Barry doesn't have a call or use his phone until after 6 a.m. I remember this morning's session, it's saying that Barry, didn't receive a call. Okay, because Barry texted his mother at 5:30 a.m. to say Happy Mother's Day. Like who texts their mother at 5:30 a.m.? But okay, they're talking about a call. He did end up around 8:30 in the morning messaging Suzanne saying Happy Mother's Day, but he knew she was already gone. So that just makes him a bigger PR, something that ends with K. Okay, so Barry Morphew's first interview with Commander Walker. Morphew claimed on Sunday morning he set his alarm for 4:30 a.m. He had already loaded the truck the night before, left the driveway around 5 a.m. Okay, well, that's not what his truck stuff says. His truck stuff said he left around 5:30 a.m. It takes about 32 minutes to drive to Johnson Village from Barry Morphew's home. Nielsen says this is according to Google directions based on phone data. He is in Johnson Village at 5:37 a.m. Momo 4, no, he didn't call. He texted his mother at 5:30 a.m. I thought they were talking about any activity on his phone, but no, they were talking specifically about phone calls. That there was no phone calls on his phone until a little after 6. So who did Barry call from Suzanne's phone? Because Suzanne's phone made an outgoing call at 12:02 a.m. and 2:17 a.m. and 2:53 a.m. on the morning of May 10th. She would have been sleeping. So who did he call? And then don't forget, his phone pinged in Poncha, whatever there. That's where, what's her name? Oh my God, I'm sorry, you guys. You guys know who I'm talking about. The female that worked for him. She said that she had seen him that morning at like 4:30 in the morning or something. And that's where Suzanne's phone pinged at 4:30 in the morning. So Morgan, that's it. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate you. MG, yes, whip poor Will. Whip poor Will. What did Will do to get whipped? 1 minute after Suzanne's, yeah. Morgan Gentile, that's it, Kat. He called Morgan at 4:30 a.m., yeah. I remember something about that. So if he what did he call her while he still had his head on his pillow? I think he left a lot earlier than that because Suzanne's phone pinged at 4:30 a.m. somewhere down the road. No problem, Momo. Yeah, if you guys want to check out my bonfire store where all my merch is, you can Des just put up the link for that. You can check that out too. Oh, she heard his truck. Okay. I don't know what the phone data is going to show. I'm sure that they are going to get into that. Okay, so next on the list here. So Nielsen, which is Barry Morphew's attorney, says, do you think there is time to dispose of a human body in that time between 4:30 and 5? No, there is not, the agent replied. That's right, because he'd already disposed of her body. And I believe it's on that property. At 6:56 a.m., Barry sent 2 text messages to Suzanne. You up? And then Happy Mother's Day. I love you. Yeah, I'd like to know where this phone call text is that Barry talked about when Suzanne stated that it was okay with her that he wasn't there for Mother's Day, if you guys remember that. I'd like to know where that text is. So on March 5th, the agent showed Barry Morphew a list of the times when he used airplane mode. So Barry's lawyer is asking if GPS can still be tracked. He replied, it can. So even though Barry Morphew had his phone on airplane mode, GPS can still track his phone. Becky, no, my sister, Daring D, is in the US. I am in Canada. I do believe, Libra scales, that they can subpoena. They probably have. It may be coming out. We have to wait and see. A lot of this, don't forget, we're only going to get tidbits just to prove that there's enough to bring Barry to trial. That's what this preliminary hearing is for. This is not a full-blown trial. But I'm sure that they have that information if those text messages were opened on Suzanne's phone. But I'm still not seeing where this text message is that Suzanne apparently sent to Barry saying that she didn't mind about him going to work on Mother's Day. I have not heard one thing about that yet. So basically, this FBI agent is saying that her body was not disposed of after 4:30 a.m. It was disposed of before then. Okay. Defense Exhibit FF is now information about airplane mode that investigators showed to Barry Morphew. So Barry was mistakenly assumed that airplane mode would prevent her from knowing his whereabouts. I can just see Barry's face right now. So the satellite and GPS is still available even when in airplane mode. Airplane mode is basically so you're not bothered while you're doing something important or to preserve the batteries. That's what generally it is used for. Some people are saying that airplane mode turns off all radio signals apart from Bluetooth. So if he still had his Bluetooth on, it would still work anyway. So he's not too bright. Somebody who was either giving him information on what he should do or if he was looking it up himself. He did a big oops. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for putting up all those links, Cindy. Essentially, it seems like a black box type deal, no? No. Yes, your phone can still get location and GPS even when you're on airplane mode, especially if your Bluetooth is still on. Airplane mode is known to save your battery life, and which means you won't get notifications and stuff coming in. So a lot of people, like when they're in court or in a meeting or something like that, they put it in airplane mode so the beeping doesn't go off for when you're getting calls and messages and stuff. I would love to be a fly on the wall in that courtroom, looking Barry right in the eyes. Thank you, Christine. I have the best mods. And don't forget, they can get a lot of information, even turning things off and everything else. You are still tracked. So this should be scary for all of us who have cell phones and that, knowing how well, if they want to look anything up on you, they can. A lot of sites track you. That's why, you could be looking through a website and all of a sudden, you had been searching for a new lipstick a couple days ago. And all of a sudden, when you go back onto Google and say, looking up Barry Morphew's next court date, and there's ads for lipsticks beside it. So, I mean, your phone tracks you a lot more than what people think. JC, the airplane mode, if you have Bluetooth on or anything using the Bluetooth, it's still going to track you. And do not disturb just means that you're not going to get any notifications and whatnot. And you can set between this hour, like I put mine on from 8 o'clock at night until 7 in the morning. I've got my do not disturb on, which means I'm not going to get that notification and everything until after a certain time, whatever time I set the do not disturb to come back on. The Alexa. Yeah, I've got the Alexa too. Alexa, play Rocket Robin.
Here's Rockin' Robin by BARRYDAY on Amazon Music.
Alexa, stop. Okay, how many people's Alexa just went off? Sorry, guys. I had to. Somebody had to bring her up. So whoever that was that brought up Alexa, it's all your fault. I had to do it. Dear you, it's me. Sorry. Yes, she knows everything. Okay, so I set off everybody's Alexa. Oh, gosh. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, you guys still listening to it? Okay, here's a new bit of information. Barry's lawyer said the first May 9th event is at 6:46 a.m. start time. Airplane mode off. Event may have been triggered by something. According to cast report, could mean that he is coming out of an area with poor service. No. Oh my God. I am so computer illiterate and tech illiterate. I know that just going in and out of service areas does not turn your airplane mode on and off. You physically have to turn airplane mode on or airplane mode off. Just coming in and out of an area with poor service is not going to put your airplane mode on or off. You physically have to put that on. Oh my God, these lawyers. Oh. Seriously. Even I know that. Yeah, going in and out of areas with poor service doesn't change your settings. And anybody that knows, you have to put your screen on, pull down the top menu, scroll over to airplane mode, and turn that sucker on or off. It doesn't just come on and off when you're coming in and out of areas with poor service. Ugh. Like I said, I am technology stupid, and even I know that. Like I said, I think these lawyers should have talked to their tech team before they started arguing points that they know nothing about, because everybody that owns a phone knows you have to physically turn airplane mode on or off. Leaving a place with poor service is not changing any of your settings. What do you guys think about that? And this is what I mean, is they're making themselves look dumb. And they're not. They're very good lawyers. But when they start going off and start attacking technology that they know nothing about, they are making themselves look dumb. They're not doing themselves any justice. I bet you Barry is sitting there shaking his head going, no, that's not how it works. Yes, that is Brennan Tube. That is what they just said. Nielsen, which is Barry's lawyer, said the first May 9th event is at 6:46 a.m. start time, airplane mode off. Event may have been triggered by something, according to the cast report. Could mean that he is coming in or out of an area with poor service. No. Airplane mode doesn't work like that. Being a lawyer doesn't mean being intelligent and informed. No, you got to be a paralegal to do that. That's what I am. I'm just throwing some, I guess I shouldn't throw humor out there. Exactly, Sandra. You have to put it on and off manually. I would love to see Barry's face right now, especially if Barry using this airplane mode all the time. I can just see him there, like his face burning up red, going, "You stupid idiots, that's not how it works." Oh, gosh. But they have nobody to confuse. Where did I just see that? Joyce said, that's the way attorneys operate anyway, to confuse or distract, bearing doubt. They're not at a trial stage. There's no one there. There's no jury or anything there to try to confuse or distract or bring doubt to. This is a preliminary hearing, a proof, evident, presumption, great hearing. The prosecution is showing some of what evidence they had to give them the authority and the means to arrest Barry for Suzanne's murder. No, the judge is not going to be confused by this. It's a judge that signed the order that this was enough to bring him to trial. This is a chance for the defense to dispute the evidence that the prosecution has. They're not disputing, they're arguing something that is argued in a trial. And please make sure you have somebody arguing these points that know the points that are being argued about and know them in and out. They should have somebody from their tech that is an expert in this. And that is done at trial. An expert witness in technology would be arguing these points. And they wouldn't argue these points because they know that it isn't true. That coming in and out of an area with poor service will not turn your airplane mode on or off. So by them arguing a point that they know nothing about and trying to dispute some kind of technology, airplane mode, that they know nothing about, they're making themselves look like fools. Okay, my rant's over. That's... Okay, so here's next, you guys, up. Defense attorney Nielsen is poking holes into agents Grusting's evidence of when Barry Morphew put his cell phone on airplane mode on and off, which is mentioned in the sealed arrest affidavit. So here, the defense is bringing up more stuff that's in the sealed affidavit. Like, release the thing already. Verizon records show Barry Morphew's cell phone at 7:19 a.m. on May 9th receiving a signal. Nielsen asked, "Can a phone receive a signal in airplane mode?" Grushing said, "I don't know." The state has been objecting to many questions due to repetitiveness. The judge agrees. Good. So, but Nielsen is continuing on, trying to poke holes in technology that she knows nothing about. And it's not up to Agent Grushing to give her that information. Like, these lawyers should have already known the answer to the questions that they are asking, and they don't. They don't know enough about technology, obviously, because they obviously don't know that you actually have to press airplane mode on or off. And finally, the judge has agreed that with the state objecting to a lot of this, that too many questions are just repetitive. So the judge finally put an end to that. So this defense attorney is still trying to continue. Oh, just irritates me. Anyway. Okay, so Nielsen has asked to have a break for the day, but the judge said, no, we must go until 5 p.m. So I think the judge is getting a little upset with this Nielsen attorney. She wanted to end for the day, but the judge said, nope, we must go until 5 p.m. Good. It's about time. So it seems to me like the judge is starting to get irritated with them. I would be getting irritated too, because I'm sitting here just repeating this for you guys, and I'm getting irritated. And who I'm watching right now sending out this information from the court has not been putting this out repetitively. So I can just imagine if I'm getting irritated by this, I'm sure the judge is. And I'm sure the prosecution is, because they're trying to make an argument on technology that they know nothing about. Okay, so the defense is asking if GPS can still be tracked. He said, yes, it can, while in airplane mode. So there you go. For those asking if it could still be tracked while in airplane mode, this agent who deals with pings and cell phones and whatnot has said that, yes, even in airplane mode, you can still be GPS tracked. Okay, next, here we go. Let's move on. The Bobcat. Here we go. The Bobcat, also called the skid steer, on page 41 in the affidavit, it states Barry Morphew was not connected to Suzanne Morphew's disappearance. So now the defense is bringing up the Bobcat, that apparently in the affidavit, it's being stated that it was not connected to Suzanne Morphew's disappearance. Now, I don't know if that is actually in the affidavit or if that's just a question. The way that it was presented that I'm seeing, I don't know if they were asking a question. Is it connected to Suzanne Morphew's disappearance, or was it ruled out as being connected to Suzanne Morphew's disappearance? So let's see. On Saturday, May 9th, his Bobcat was very active. Shannon says a Bobcat is not a skid steer. Yeah, I thought a skid steer was like something that you either sat or standed on, and either the back or the front went side to side, but where you were standing stayed in the same position. That's what I thought a skid steer was. I could be wrong. Maybe Shannon, you can correct me if I am wrong, but I think it's something that you either sit or stand on, and where you're sitting or standing stays in the same place, but either the back or the front will go side to side. Am I correct with that, Shannon? Okay, so we're not going to get very many tweets for a couple minutes, because the last one that is sending out information is Lauren, and she has to go outside for her live shot for Fox 21 News. Daniela, yes, I have oh, it's a skid steer. It is a skid steer. Cindy says you sit, the wheels basically act like steers. I also, my last husband was going through college to be a diesel mechanic. So I opened a truck and trailer repair business for him to start him off. So we had a lot of heavy equipment there. We worked on transports. And yes, even me. I was very much still in the legal field at that time, but also helped him out on weekends because the business grew very quickly. So I learned how to do airbags on transports and wiring and all kinds of things. You guys would be surprised. Okay, the Bobcat is the brand name and the skid steer the type of machine. Okay. So Barry has a Bobcat skid steer loader. Okay, thank you. It's a little Bobcat with a bucket on the front. Yeah. Bobcat could be called a Bobcat skid steer. Aw, thanks, sis. Okay, so a Bobcat can be a skid steer. You put the brakes on one side while the other side keeps going, forcing a turn. Yeah. Well, the skid steers that I've seen here in Canada, I mean, we do have Bobcats and that here. I've never seen a Bobcat that could work as a skid steer. Because the skid steers that I have seen is like the part that you sit or stand on with your controls never moves. It's just the front or the back. It's like on a pivot that can go side to side. Like in a 190 or something like that. It's another type of Bobcat from what I can tell. So there's different types of Bobcats. I thought he just had the one with the bucket on the front and the big digger on the back. I didn't know that his could turn into a skid steer too. Okay, so you can attach different pieces to it. Okay. I gotcha. Thank you for schooling me, everybody. Learn something new every day. It's the only way to live. I am checking for new updates, you guys. And we got about 5 minutes left. So just to let you guys know, I don't know if they're going to maybe add more time for this preliminary hearing. I know the judge is not impressed with how long each witness is taking. And I think he's actually getting a little upset with the defense because the defense seems to be taking a lot more time with witnesses than the prosecution is. So I don't know if he is going to add more time to this, but I know right now as it stands, they are going to be back on August 23rd and 24th to continue this. So there will be no coverage tomorrow. The next coverage that I know of is going to be on August 23rd and 24th. August 23rd, we're going to be starting at 10 a.m. So unless the judge puts some more time on here, that's what I'm waiting to see because the day is almost done. So let's just hang on for a little bit, you guys, and see if the judge is going to maybe add some more days this week. The only day that I cannot do it if he does is Friday morning. I will not be able to cover anything if they do prolong this for the rest of the week because I do have to go and see my hand surgeon. So that has been a few months waiting for this appointment. So okay, there you go. My sister just put up the link for AK's channel. Check that out after the live. I'm not going to rule that out, biscuits and gravy. I don't know what more information they have found out since this and since Barry has been arrested. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm not ruling out that stream at all. Whether he used the Bobcat or not to do it, I don't know. But I'm not ruling it out. As it stands right now, I'm not ruling out that stream. Like I said, I am going to do an updated read on Suzanne to see if, oh, look at where everybody is from. Tennessee, Las Vegas. Georgia, Finland, WV, Indiana, Texas, South Carolina, North Carolina. Wow. New York, Sacramento, Toronto, fellow Canadian. I'm up near Ottawa. I'm in the Gatineau area of Ottawa. Arkansas, Nebraska, New Mexico, Chicago, Colorado, UK, Massachusetts, Bath, UK, Missouri, Washington State, Australia, Nashville, Patricia, my fellow Ontarian, Idaho, Michigan. We got people from all over here. England, Kansas City, Nova Scotia, not far from me. You're about 13 hours from me. California, Virginia, Michigan. Okay, let me check again these tweets, you guys, to see if we've got any more information, if this is going to be continued longer. You're very welcome, Lynn, Love and Light. Nebraska, here we go. I'm going to keep going. Robin Hood Land, Idaho, California, Alabama, Shreveport, Louisiana, Wisconsin, Florida, Lake George, New York, South Australia, Utah, Lake Ontario, New York, across the lake from me, Gettysburg, Parry Sound, Ontario, another fellow Ontarian. Oh, we love you too. I love you, all of you too. Thank you, Flyer B. I appreciate you. Philippines, Indiana, Kentucky, Venezuela, Hawaii, Arizona. Okay, here we go. Waxahachie, Texas. Did I say that right, Darlene Barnes? Waxahachie. You guys are going to try and give me Wales in the UK. Thank you for being here, Pam. New Jersey, there's my sister. Boston, Maryland. Everybody from all over the states and around the world. PA, Florida, Northern California, Houston, Texas, H-Town. That's what we call my hometown of Hamilton, Ontario in Canada. Dubai, we got somebody from Dubai. Amity, thank you for joining us. Castle Rock, Colorado. Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, we call Hammertown. I'm still checking the tweets here to see if we've got anything regarding them extending this. And I don't see anything, you guys, and it's almost 5 o'clock. Southern Oregon, Savannah, Westmoreland, Tennessee, Puerto Rico. Gemini Jenny says, the Hammer. Yes, ma'am. That's where I was born and raised. I am now in the Hamilton. Oh, look at that. Dear you, it's me. Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, my hometown. Born and raised. I do miss Hamilton. I left there about 7 years ago, and I'm now in the Ottawa Valley area. Anaheim, the Netherlands, Germany. Wow, you guys. From all over the world. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Okay, let me check again, because it is now 5 p.m. in Colorado. They will be wrapping everything up, and I am not getting anything, you guys. There has nothing been posted. I know Lauren Scharf did leave the courthouse because she needed to go out and get a live shot for the news that is coming up. So we are going to leave it there, and I will keep my eyes open, you guys, to see if more dates and times are going to be added for this. I can't see them not adding any more time. Because they're only on witness number 3 for the prosecution. They still have 6 more witnesses to bring forward. Plus, then the defense has their time to bring their witnesses if they have any. So they may end up having to add more days to this, but I will keep my eyes open for that. Sherry McClellan, please like for Willow before you leave. Oh, thank you, Sherry. I thought you were asking me something before I left. You guys are very welcome. I want to thank each and every one of you. It's 1 a.m. in here in Denmark, JC says. He needs to get to sleep. Yes, you do, JC. Thank you for staying the course with us here, and I'm thankful for you being here all the way from Denmark. Much respect. Yeah, Bear's going back to his yellow and his white and orange stripes. Yes, I find the defense wasted a lot of time. Like I said, this isn't a trial yet, and I feel like they're bringing up a lot of stuff that is meant for trial. So I do think they wasted a lot of time, and I do think that the judge is getting a little peeved. So there you go, you guys. I've been at this for almost 12 hours. I got up very early this morning to start this up and get everything set up. So I've been on here for 12 hours. I want to thank all of you guys for being here. Much love, much respect to my mods. You guys are the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here and keeping things straight and safe for everybody in the room and keeping chat on track. I appreciate you guys more than you know. And there's Doreen McLean from Alberta. Thank you very much for showing up. Thank you to all my fellow Canadians, my Americans, my friends from all around the world. I consider you all friends. Thank you so much. And thank you for spending your day once again with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I want to thank all the ones who have given me donations through PayPal. I did mention, I want to mention them again before I do leave. There was some very nice donations through my PayPal. So I want to thank RMW, Jennifer, Kathy, Brenda, Nancy. Thank you for all your PayPal donations from yesterday. Anybody who donates to PayPal to me today, if there is any, it's not a requirement, but if there is any there for me today, I will make a post about it because I do not think there will be court tomorrow. So I will say a big thank you to all of yous and call you out in a post that I will post tomorrow. Okay, so again, you guys, it's 7 p.m. my time. I've got to get something else into my belly and get some things done around the house here. So again, thank you all for being here and sharing the last 2 days with me. I appreciate you more than you know. Again, I will see you all again on the 23rd and 24th and any other dates that the judge may add for this case. Thank you all for being here. Please have a good afternoon, evening, or sleep, depending on which time zone you're in. And please stay safe and please take care of yourself. I want to see you all back here again with me on the 23rd. Again, thank you so much. And my mods, I love you guys to death. Bye-bye for now.